How's it going, guys? So I've had a few people ask me to kind of go back and revisit my alien boss battle guide as well as my Seti-Com defense, try different fate and fortune cards to see if we get better results, and I want to gear this one strictly for just straight damage per second. So this one is just going to be a heavy hitting fate and fortune class. However, it is going to be mainly made up of fate cards. There's only 2 fortune cards in it, and I only ended up using one of them. So the other one, you could potentially use anything that you want if you want to run with perk insured. However, I don't. I would much rather run with something that lasts rounds or waves instead of seconds. So that's kind of what I choose my setups to be. So we'll go over the setups here real fast as far as the fate and fortune cards before we get into the actual strategy itself. So firstly, I always run with Nade Party whenever I work on this Easter egg. Nade Party is a very good fate card. It will regenerate your lethal slot every so often. I think it's about 20 to 30 seconds you'll get a regenerated grenade. And if you pair that up with the cryo grenades or the gas grenades, those things just demolish everything. The cryo grenades will give you a little bit of space, and the gas grenades will just demolish all the zombies around it. And it's a really good way to kind of, when the alien goes down, you can surround him in the gas and just take the fuses, no problem at all. Best for last is going to be the next card, which again is a fate card. It's going to do increased damage for the last 4 bullets in your clip, and that's going to be really helpful with the boss battle as well as the Seti-Com defense. So if you start getting low on ammo, those last 4 shots within your pack-a-punch pistol should pack more of a punch. Restored Losses is going to be the next card, and that's going to be the first fortune card, and I ended up not using this one at all. However, it would be very useful if you can include it within your Seti defense steps, because any missed shots go back into the ammo counter as a replenished ammo in the back, so that way it's almost like an infinite ammo with the pack-a-punch pistol because you're always hitting the ground, and it only counts as direct hits. So it's very helpful for the Seti defense. I would take this over infinite ammo any day just because infinite ammo is a limited timer. Then we have 5-second muscle, which is going to do increased bullet damage after reloading for 5 seconds. Again, just more damage, and this is going to be very ideal for the boss battle because you can essentially reload and shoot on purpose and do more damage. And then finally we have Twice the Pain, which is going to do double the damage of all bullets for 30 seconds. Again, this is just something that I use to increase the amount of damage that we've done to the boss and the zombies around it, so that way we can just demolish him super fast. As far as weapon requirements go, the only thing I would say is, maybe have your pistol maxed out. If not, at least have extended mags and hollow points on it, as it's going to help out a ton, especially when doing the Seti-Com defense. Having those additional shots just helps and is a lifesaver. So let's go ahead and jump into the game, and I'll show you guys exactly how I took him out as easy as I did. And it was a very simple playthrough that I did here. I was very surprised at how quick and easy I was able to accomplish this. So straight out of spawn, go ahead and pick up Neil's head and the first Seti piece and put Neil together. Go ahead and start working on his challenges. And the first thing you're going to want to really kind of work toward, other than the challenges, is just to get points and just kind of open the doors around you. A good way to make a decision as far as which door to open first is the first coin that you get should kind of dictate the doors that you open. So for instance, I was able to get a green token for this one, and I'm working toward building the head cutter in this because that's going to be the weapon that I use, so it kind of worked out. So I made my way up Polar Peaks first, and that's going to be the first set of doors that I open. So after you kind of make your way around the park and open up your first set and deposit your first token, the next place you want to start heading toward, unless you have another token, is the arcade. Here you're also going to turn on the power and link the teleporter as you always do, but you're also going to need to play games until you get at least 950 tickets. This is very simple. You can do it within 1 round, but if the game shut down on you and you can't play again until next round and you don't have enough to purchase the teeth, the cryo grenades, and an arcane attachment, I would definitely go with the arcane attachment and the cryo grenades, as you're going to use them pretty early on. You need to go ahead and pick up a gun. I would definitely pick up the M1. Don't pick up something expensive because you're going to trade it out for a wonder weapon. This strategy does not use a third weapon. I only run with 4 perks in this one to save a lot of money and time. Train your zombies together. I normally run in the journey to space area near the velocity trap to just trying to, get them all organized and together instead of having a few strays here and there. And then from there, make your way to Polar Peak near the entrance where the Yeti is, so that way you can go ahead and throw the cryo grenade at it, let it free the zombies that you have in a herd, and then just get headshots until you hear the Yeti roar. This is letting you know that you can now pick up the battery for the head cutter. Once you have enough kills, definitely stop. Try not to advance again any more rounds. You want to try to get as much done as quickly as possible within the low rounds. Deposit your tokens, link any teleporters that you have remaining, and then also be on the lookout for any Seti pieces, so that way you can go ahead and turn them in as soon as possible. Once you have all the teleporters linked, as always, go ahead and go in there and activate the UFO. A lot of people are missing out that you have to activate the UFOs within the Pack-a-Punch room in order to progress any further in the Easter egg. Otherwise, the Hoff will never give you the Seti. So while you're doing all this as well, don't forget about completing Neil's challenges, so that way you can summon the Hoff. He's going to be ideal for the 3rd Seti Defense. The only wonder weapon you are going to be crafting is going to be the head cutter. That thing is just going to obliterate the alien with no problem whatsoever. So the tokens, you're not depositing them to build the other wonder weapons or anything else like that. You're not going to be charging the traps or anything. You're strictly just going to be doing everything to build up for the head cutter, and that is it. 3rd Seti piece, go ahead and turn that into the Hoff before advancing another round. A lot of people are forgetting too that you need to advance around in order for him to give you the completed Seti piece. I would highly recommend picking up the rewind grenades as well right now, because you're going to need them for the 3rd Seti Defense. All this stuff you're pretty much gearing up for the boss fight and the 3rd Seti. The rest of it is extremely easy. Go ahead and pick up the completed Seti-Com from the DJ, and then the next thing you're going to want to do is start getting your perks. You're going to want to get your perks. You're going to want to Pack-a-Punch your starting pistol. The only perks you really necessarily need for the 1st Seti Defense is going to be Tough Enough and Bomb Stoppers. If you pair that up with a Pack-a-Punch pistol, you should be able to defend it just fine without any equipment or anything else like that, and just using your Pack-a-Punch pistol. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. So after you've Pack-a-Punched your pistol and you got your first 2 perks that you need, or any more perks that you want to get if you can afford them, you want to search for your first Seti location and go ahead and set that down. As with all 3 Seti defenses, the best thing to do is just slowly pace yourself. Shoot left and right of the Seti to kill any zombies around it, and don't just go crazy with it. So after completing your first Seti defense, pick it up and pick up the max ammo as well. Don't forget either one of those because you're going to need it. And then switch away from your Pack-a-Punch starting pistol back to your M1. Use your M1 in order to get a large amount of points, so that way you can continue to buy perks. For the 2nd Seti Defense, you're definitely going to need to buy quickies, just because the fast reload is going to save you a ton. The 2nd Seti does not really require any gear or special equipment to help you defend it. If you have something additional that you've already crafted in the junction area, and you've already crafted all the other items around the map, then you can use that to help you out. However, your standard equipment and grenades and your Pack-a-Punch starting pistol should definitely carry you throughout this. The cryo grenades are going to help you out in any tight situations, or if you have gas grenades, those are just going to demolish the zombies around it in case you need a couple of seconds to reload or anything else along those lines. Advance to the next round so that way you can start working toward defending the 3rd location. Before that round begins, as you've seen here, I finally activated my first Fate and Fortune card, Nade Party. That's because I wanted to be certain that just in case I went any additional rounds, I wasn't going to lose the benefit of having those grenades regenerate, so I chose not to use any Fate and Fortune cards, especially not this one, until I got to that 3rd Seti Defense, and I knew I would at least be going into the boss battle within 2 rounds. After activating the card, I made my way up Polar Peaks and activated the Steel Dragon Trap with a train of zombies behind me, so that way I can go ahead and charge the UFO and get that orb drop and start working my way toward getting the shards so I can craft the head cutter. I made sure to try to save a zombie or 2. I think I was able to save about 2 or 3. And after that, I made my way back and tried to search around to see where the next Seti Defense was. Once I found where that was, I then started gearing up in order to defend that. You're going to want to keep the Kindle Pops in the outside areas of the Seti-Com, not so close to it because the zombies can still hit it once they're burning, so you're going to want them to die before they get to it. The Kindle Pops are going to be kind of your first line of defense. You do need to be fairly quickly with this step too. You don't want anything to despawn or disappear. After laying down your Kindle Pops, go ahead and activate Neil so he can summon the Hoff in, and then make your way to the sentry turret that you have in Journey into Space, and make your way back to the Seti Defense. By the time you get there, the Hoff should have spawned in and started heading that way. You don't want him to kill any zombies before you start that defense, and that way you can go ahead and be within the same round. Go ahead and set down the third and final Seti-Com, so that way you can start defending it. Now, you're mainly going to want to focus on keeping the zombies away, but without using a lot of ammo very early on. The Kindle Pops should take a lot of the stress off of you for a little bit. Once the Kindle Pops start wearing down, or if they start getting through, then you're going to want to start pacing yourself again with your Pack-a-Punch pistol shots. So when the Kindle Pops do run out completely, you want to go ahead and either activate the Medusa device or set down the sentry turret in an area to where it can kill the zombies as they're approaching the Seti. So you may be running low on ammo with about 30 to 45 seconds remaining on the defense, and you really need it. That's whenever the rewind comes in handy. Go ahead and activate that, and it's basically like a max ammo. It will replenish your weapon, and you can continue to fire, and you should have plenty shots to spare before the Seti is even anywhere near close to being destroyed. You can also throw down gas grenades, ice grenades, and anything else along those lines. So you should be well set up, and this defense actually should be fairly easy. So when the next round or two begins, you should have a brute spawn in, unless he's already spawned in before, which a lot of you already know. You need the brute to run underneath the alligator trap, and he needs to stop it in order to break the teeth. And then make your way back to Polar Peaks, and you're going to be working toward charging up that UFO in order to get that orb drop. Once you've gotten enough kills, it'll drop the orb. Pick that up, make your way back to the alligator, shoot the door on the far left with a Pack-a-Punch pistol that has the glowing arcane attachment on it now, and that should expose the shard in order to craft the head cutter. On your way to craft the head cutter, if you haven't already, go ahead and pick up your 4th or 5th perk, however many you want to run. I chose to go with Racing Stripes just because it's nice to continue to be able to run long distances during the boss fight. Make your way up to Polar Peaks and craft the head cutter, and then pick that up. I would definitely keep your Pack-a-Punch pistol, so swap out your M1 if that's the one that you're using. And here I chose to go ahead and activate Best for Last because it's going to carry out through 3 rounds, and I'm going to be going into the boss battle either this round or the next one. Make sure you turn in the Seti back to the Hoff after you completed the 3rd one, so that way he can work on crafting it. It does take 1 round in order for him to do it. I then advanced around and then picked up the tone emitter from the DJ and made my way back to the junction area to set the speakers down and begin the Simon Says portion of the Easter egg. So after completing the UFO Simon Says step 3 times, the majority of your zombies will then turn into clowns. These clowns will drop a max ammo after you've killed a few of them, so what I like to do is wait till they're all grouped together, and I use as much ammo as I can with that starting Pack-a-Punch pistol to get as many points and to kind of gear up and almost unlock my next Fate and Fortune card. Once you've gotten enough points in order to activate your next Fate and Fortune card, go ahead and activate 5-second Mule. So now you're finally to the boss fight, and it's going to take you a whole 4 to 5 minutes to beat this. So what you're wanting to do is to get the alien to teleport in near a zombie. Whenever he does that, shoot the zombies that are close near him, and a couple of shots will pretty much insta-down him. The splash damage that the head cutter does to the zombies and the alien is just insane. And once you pair this up with the Fate and Fortune cards, it's pretty much a one-shot kill. So the alien will get a little bit more health every time that you down him and pick up a fuse. So the second time you go after him, he has a little bit more health, and the third time he has a little bit more health after that. However, the head cutter is still going to down him in about 1 to 2 shots, especially if you pair this up with Twice the Pain. It's basically an insta-down. If you pair this up with Twice the Pain, which unfortunately I wasn't able to because he didn't teleport into the right area and I activated it at the wrong time, you could probably insta-down him in a single shot. So I hope some of you guys find this strategy useful. It was a lot of fun trying this out and trying to experiment with the Fate and Fortune cards. I'll have a guide on Wednesday for a full breakdown of each individual Fate and Fortune card, as well as a zombie crafts where we're going to be building Fate and Fortune cards, and I'm going to show you guys how I made them, and also give you the files to them as well. So thank you guys so much for watching and all the support. I appreciate it all. If this video has helped you out at all, please be sure to leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next video.